Trading is 80% mental, man. Seriously, I can teach you mechanics all day long, but can you have the discipline to fucking avoid FOMO and all that, right? And so the best way I think to make a plan, like I said, if you have a problem with FOMO and all that stuff, write down your plan, entry, exit, and stick to it. All I know is this. All I know is I don't know. The only thing in life I know for sure is I don't know. And if I don't know, it's a no trade. If I know, I'm going to trade it. I trade by probability. Knowing to not fucking short this area and now getting stuck from $4 to $5.20, I'm a better trader. The only thing you could do is be better than you were yesterday. Doesn't mean that you can make more money. It just means that you lose less money. The fact that you're losing less money means you're a better trader. Leave your ego at the door, including my own. Okay, this is what killed me, man. I mean, every time I lose big, it's I have a fucking ego. I don't want to take a loss. I'm too embarrassed to post a loss. I think I know better than other people. You know, the only thing I know is I don't know. Okay, the only thing I know for sure in life, 100%, is I don't know. I've been a broken record, and I told the room, okay, it's better for me to be a broken record than for me to be broke. It's better to be a broken record than it is to be broke. It's better to be a broken record than it is to be broke. Get that shit in your mind, guys. Get that shit in your head. Being a full-time trader does not mean trading all the time. It means you have a bigger window, a bigger opportunity to pick and to get more hands dealt, 20s and 19s and 18s. Even 18, I'm like, just being fucking patient, pre-planning, using your fucking knowledge of what happened previously in the past. So this is the things you need to learn to make it a long-term, lifelong career possible. I'm telling you, it's not being about the smartest guy. It's not about knowing all this shit about filings. It's nothing about that. Discipline. I keep saying over and over again, it's fucking the fact, dude. Discipline.
If you're greedy, your family's gonna lose money.
Don't stop believing, guys. That's basically the motto that I lived through all my life, and that's trading, man. Just don't fucking stop believing. Believe in yourself. The best bet that you can make is on yourself. If I'm gonna have to fucking lose money, I'm gonna lose it on myself. I'm not gonna lose money giving it a Gucci belt, buying stuff I can't afford. Fucking, if you're gonna invest in something, invest in your own education, because you know what, they can't take it away from you. That's why I love education. As an Asian, we grew up. Our parents always say, go to school, because that's one thing you can't take away, man. Education is in your head.
How do you narrow down which stocks to play? I wake up, I see the list of gappers, and I determine whether or not I want to go long or short. Remember HERX, I wanted the long and never went back down. So I played for a short at the top of the line. When I went back down, I played the long on the bottom line. So I'm just working my lines. The top of the channel of the lines is a sell. A sell is a sell. A short is a sell, right? A buy is a long. So the bottom of the channels, I go for long. The top of the channels, I go for the short. And that's how I determine whether or not it's a long or buy. So if this sucker had bounced in the morning down here, I would have went long. But at the open, it screamed, dude. It didn't go back, so I couldn't. Plus, I'm like, dude, this thing went so much. So sometimes I get scared that I'm buying a piece of shit that may never come back up. So it depends on the stock. I have to have a comfortable feeling that it's a long. Like IGC, I was very comfortable going long because shorts were stuck upside down. So you determine it on a play by play. A lot of volume. If there's a constant volume, a huge volume, I like to go long. So volume plays a big part of it, but it doesn't determine your price and all that. It just determines whether or not I should be long or short. Volume means I keep going with the trend. If the trend is up and the volume is consistently there, it's going to keep going up. Volume needs to slow down before you change into the downside. So that's what we talked about in the boot camp. So it's like driving a car. Before you make a turn, you have to slow down. You can't just fucking turn without slowing down. So that's how I look at volume. I see the volume slowing down, and there's a possible trend change. Or temporary trend change, right? There's a bunch of trends, right? There's an ultimate overall big trend, and then there's a little temporary trend. So there's lines within lines and trends within trends. And that's channeling. It's channeling up and down. The top of the channel and down to the bottom of the channel. Any way to reduce halt while going long? There's usually never any, hardly I've seen an intraday raise. Only pre-market, 9 a.m. market time, and after hours. Intraday, I hardly ever see an intraday raise. Hardly ever. I've seen maybe 2 in my whole career. Definitely less than 5. So now we'll talk about process. So what do? I like to use FinViz. You can use whatever you want, but the reason I like to do this is it's quick. You can pull out quick information. So the first thing I did was I typed in here. I really don't know why it ran. It just ran. You know how I found out? Go to Twitter. If you don't have a news source, let's see if there's a news came out. Right here, a news did come out. Okay. But if it's not here, the very simple thing to do is this, guys. You type in Acre into Twitter, and then you just see what people are writing. And so that's how Alex found what the news for Acre was. I asked him what it is. So someone posted the news for it, and then I copy and paste the news to you guys. So use Twitter. Twitter is a great way to see what people are doing in terms of finding news. If you can't find news, so I found the news, and the news was, oh, this is some bullshit news, dude. It's like we are now entering the cannabis industry. It's so it's obviously like a fluff, right? This is like, okay, they're exploring potential business. They're not even having anything. They're just exploring it. It's all like, dude. So when you hear these kind of headlines, it's fluffy, right? It's a fluffy. So you dig deeper and understand why would they even put this PR out? Everything happens for a reason. They just don't do this just because they woke up one day and they want to alert their shareholders that they're doing this. They're doing this for a reason. Usually it's to pump something up. Okay. So how do I figure out what's going on? So the next thing I go is I look at the filings. You can use whatever resource you want, but this, in my opinion, this is a great thing. So bam, SEC. So I type in, what do I type in here? Acre. Here I see, I'm just checking to see the filings and all that stuff, right? And I'm looking at this, I'm like, dude, there's a shelf here. November 2nd. That's pretty damn recent, dude. And then after further investigation, I see that they just did a reverse split 8 days ago. So I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on? Is this a coincidence? Why is all this shit happening right during this week? Dude, so bing, bing, bing. I'm like, dude, they set this shit up. Think about it. So you put yourself in the position of someone who's like, he needs to raise capital to do all this shit. So what do you do? First thing you do a filing, and let's see what it looks like. Dude, this is a shelf. So they can sell like 5.5 million, but this is before the reverse split, right? So you divide it. So it comes out to 700 something. And so it's kind of misleading. At first I'm thinking, so I kind of screwed up myself. I'm like, oh shit, it's 5 million. This thing's gonna go to zero. Not zero, but you see what I'm saying? It's like that RGLS from last week, right? That's why it went down. That's $15 million to sell. So this was kind of tricky because they did a reverse split, 1 for 8. So you need to divide this by 8. So I thought it was 5 million. I forgot to do the math. So someone in the room, someone pointed out, you got to divide by 8. I was like, oh shit, you're right. I didn't even know about the reverse split, by the way, guys. I was lazy to look for that kind of stuff because who really looks for part of that as a process? But if you were really diligent, you should look through all that stuff, which comes out to 700,000, which is actually nothing. They did 12 million volume almost. So they probably blew away this already. So when I'm looking at this is basically how you trap shorts maybe, but the thing is there's no shorts on this anyway. So I'm just talking about from a game plan point of view. Where can you find info about reverse split? Can someone type that into the chat room? There are sites that, but so if I didn't know about the reverse split, I'm like, dude, this thing is fucking gonna be sold. And so I would have made a mistake thinking they have a lot to sell when they probably just dumped it already, dude. It's like the 12 million volume traded already. Just so happens there's no shorts on it, but let's assume we don't know. Maybe other people have shorts. Maybe I don't have access to the shorts on this, right? And so knowing this, you see how I'm putting the pieces together, like a private investigator, like a detective. I'm trying to paint the picture. So every trade you do, you have to paint the picture. So you can understand what's going on. If you don't understand what's fucking going on, how do you fucking trade? Right? You have to paint the picture of the play. Like, why did this stock move up? What's going on? If you don't understand that shit, maybe you shouldn't trade it. Or you just scalp it from a technical trader, like technical analysis point of view. But that's I want to see the big picture first to see what my edge is, right? So I'm painting a picture. So they're exploring cannabis. What the fuck? Exploring? It's like, because they're trying to sell this shelf here. They're trying to sell all this and have warrants up the ass and all this shit, right? So it makes sense. Like, why would they put a PR out? Boom, the same week as this, doing the reverse split. What they do is reverse split. What it does is it cleans out shareholders. Okay, it's a trick they fucking do. So reverse split, it makes. So now this stock used to be divided by 8, which is like fucking like a quarter or whatever the hell it is. So $2 and let me see what it was before. It closed at $1.23. Okay, let's do the math on this. Oops, where's my calculator? So I'm just walking you through my thought process, guys. This is just my own thought process. So $1.23 divided by 8. It was a 15-cent stock. How can you dump this money? How can you dump 5 million on a 15-cent stock, right? It's like they want it high because then there's more room for it to drop. Not only that, guys. Not only that, you know what reverse split does? It kills off all shareholders.
Imagine you have 10,000 shares or 8,000 shares. Now you only got 1,000 shares of it. You're like, what the hell? So basically what it does is it cleans out everybody, dude. Reverse split is never good. It's never good for the shareholder. Baker. 91% short float. I don't know how accurate this is, but you know, like this kind of stuff gives me kind of like, I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna short this shit on the front side. So I'm telling Alex, thank God we don't have shares. Thank God we do not have shares on this. We might have lost money, but eventually we make it back. But that's not the point, right, guys? It's like, dude, you have to see these things like 91%. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's kind of like sketchy. So I'm like, you know, you gotta be careful, right? And there's a reverse split. When things get reverse split, there's no more sellers, guys. You see what I'm saying? When they do with a reverse split, they clean out the shareholder. People are wiped out, dude. People lost. Okay, so you only have 1,000 shares left from 8,000 shares. So the number of sells are very little, which is perfect for them because they own the supply, dude. They have 700 shares and 700 more shares of warrants. So they have 1.4 million shares at a 47-cent basis to sell this shit. So they basically control the float. There are no sellers. Okay. At the same time, when it went up this, I guess there's no buyers. Went back down too. Who knows? They slammed everybody down. Let me explain how shorting works. This is how you get killed shorting these on the front side. If you short this shit on the fucking front side, you better be fucking either have very good risk management or have a lot of fucking money to keep adding. Because what happens is this, dude. These are what I call the inner lines, right? When it started moving like fucking from 120 to 180, if you're just shorting at $2, like what the fuck? Look how much more room you have. You basically shorted the very first sucker area. You are the amateur short. Okay? And it's like, dude, you just stepped into a landmine. So that's why I'm like, dude, when I'm looking at these, if I want to short on the front side, man, I would maybe nibble tiny, but you have to be able to stop out or have a plan. Okay? And I don't want to get stuck in this front side of the shit. Okay? And so if you want to guess the front side, use the outer limits. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more can it go once it hits this 320? The next time it goes to 380. You're cool, man. You're cool. I'm okay with that. But if you do from $2, you're dead. So if you want to do front side, take a look at the most outer. Same thing if you want to buy on the tank down. Look at these lines. Look at these pivot lines I drawn. $2.06, right? 206, 178. And so this better hold at this $2 area. If it goes any more, dude, it's like there's so many back holders, they may never come back up. I actually had an order at 208. I canceled, guys. I was scared. I was like, fuck this shit. Because it went $3, 320. I'm like, dude, it went back 50. It lost all its gains. I'm afraid of all the bag holders. So I just kind of like said, I'm not going to touch this trade. I'm going to use this, but I'm not going to touch this on the long side. But I wish I had a short. $3 all day long. And how did I come up on this? Like I said, I use the most outer lines, guys. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. If it doesn't hit, I'm gonna wait for the backside. And how the backside works is this. So once I don't really know this backside front side anymore. Right now it's indeterminate. I have no idea, dude. The Tran thought it was broken. If it had hit 180 and over, it'd be over. Guaranteed. This is the backside. But right now they saved it. Right now it's indeterminate. I can't tell. I don't know what to do. So the only thing I could do is go from line to line. And it's for me on the long side, it's way too risky. But this has huge volume, and if I could be certain that they have sold all of their dilution shares, I could go long, but I don't know. So so the thing is, I'm playing it super safe, guys, super safe. But you know what? Looking at this right now, who knows, dude? I think it may be able to test 250 again. I don't doubt it, but you have to have the stop. The stop would be whatever the low is here. Fuck, man, if it hits 180 and over, game over. Don't fucking add anymore. It's fucking dead. But once it passes a certain point, it's just you cannot save it. But right now they saved it. So right now there seems to be a channel between $2, like down here. If you take a look, let's see, what is it? 193 was the low of that. I just don't feel comfortable with this, so I don't touch it. As simple as that, guys. But now you see where I called the 320. I'm not. It's just eyeballing, man. I just got lucky. It happened to be 320. How did I get 208? Well, the lines told me 208. And plus, by eyeballing it, if you take a look at this, okay, let's take a look at this further. I'll show you what I see when I look at these. See this, guys? On the way up, remember I told you it's a mirror, right? So on the way up, it went to 220 and then it stopped at, and then when it went down like 204. So that basically was the support on the way up. So that's why I was okay at 208. So if I had to enter, I would enter there. But dude, this thing went down so much. It's like, dude, I don't know, dude. And there's dilution. I really don't know. So I just left it alone. But for those that are trading, that have more confidence than I am, this is how you come upon these lines. See, now you can draw your own lines. 220 was a line. 260 is the next line. $3. Yeah. And so during the pre-planning, you're not in the trade yet. So that is when you can make the most clear decision you can make. And so don't second guess yourself once that, because when you're in the battle, you get very emotional and you can't think straight sometimes. You get greedy or you get fearful. Like an example here, like pre-planning says I should be shorting around 110, right? So or $1 line. But when it starts coming back up and I'm fearful, I take my orders out because I think it's going to go to 125. Then I already fucked myself up because that was actually the correct line. So emotions and fear, I alleviate by pre-planning, because when I pre-plan, I had taken the emotions out of the trade. I'm not in the trade yet, right? So I could do my full analysis. So my full analysis is this: 125. So I'm saving bullets for 125. It never came. It never came. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I had so many bullets I could have pulled at 110 or $1. But you can't get into that hooroo game. You understand why you can't get in that hooroo game, right? Because that was the best pre-planning I could do. Of course, you can do dynamic on the fly adjusting, but you know what, man? Which we did, but at the same time, it's like I still save some bullets. That's the way I work. I'm not the all-in kind of guy anymore. I might have been back when I was younger, but now I'm okay with taking the meat of the move, no need the top and bottom, and be green every single day. Knock on wood, man. When you break your rules, you know what the first thing that goes through your head? You're making excuses for yourself, right? You're making excuses so that you can break the rule. So that's why I do this all the time. Oh, fuck, I'm stuck. Should I cover and take a loss? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a filing. I'm starting reading filings because somewhere in the filing is going to convince me that holding it is a good thing. I'm going to fucking work my ass off to find that fucking piece of information in the filing that's going to say, now hold on to this fucking loser because you cannot be wrong. So I'm fucking checking all this shit. You know what? You should have checked all that shit before you got into the trade. That's to be honest with you. And every time I lose, bro, I mean, every time I check in filings midday, it means I'm losing. I'm looking for fucking reasons. If I'm going to Twitter and looking for data information at fucking 11 a.m., that means I'm stuck. I'm looking for any reason to convince myself that I was not a dumbass. But I am a dumbass. I should have done all this shit before I got into the trade. Am I right, guys? Do you guys find yourself doing that? Looking for a fucking reason to keep holding on to a fucking loser? The most important thing I look at is the lines. I mean, the chart don't lie, man. You just if you're wrong on the chart, it just means that you're too early. But the resistance was set 270. Notice at 270 was once it broke. I mean, it's still not that strong. But the next line should be around $3. We don't know. But the thing is, the fact that we don't know, I'm uncertain, is a no trade. I only trade things which are at least 75% probability of success. Right now is a no trade for me because I don't really know what the hell's going on. It broke. It should have went to $3. It didn't, but it should have tanked. It didn't. And so remember what we were saying? It's like, dude, there's a lot of times just sit on your hands and do nothing. 10:30 hit. It should have tanked by now. If you were short, it should have tanked. You gave it a lot of time. It tanked and it held again at this line, 238 from this morning too. So once again, guys, I mean, you have to determine whether or not it's a long or a short, or most of the time it's a no trade. When it's a no trade, we really don't know, dude. You know, it's okay not knowing. If you want to do a 50-50 gamble trade, go to Vegas, right? But that's what I keep saying. It's like, if I don't know, I don't know, dude. I'm not going to be a guru who's going to be like, I'm all in this crap. I mean, like I said, there's many ways to trade. And I think you guys join my chat so that you can learn how to get to the point where you're profitable every day. And then you can start doing bigger strategies where you're doing accumulation and doing swing trade. What was it like trading small caps during the bear markets? It was like this, guys. There's no movement. Fucking stocks are flat. It's compared. This summer has been pretty good. There's a lot of volume this summer, but previous summers just dead. So when there's just like nothing moving, man. Bear market doesn't mean shit has to go down. It's just fucking just nothing moves, because in small cap land, guys, the movements are so big. In large caps, what happens is these. So when you have blue chips, they barely move, like what, 10% a year. And so when they drop 20%, people are like, oh my god. But for our small caps, dude, things move like 200% in a day, right? And so we don't. So when they talk about the bear market, I'm like, oh, these stocks go up and down like 20 years worth of a big cap, right? And so how you feel the effects being a small cap or penny stock trader is the fact that there's hardly any movement. There's not many big gappers. There's not many opportunities to short because there's no meat. For a long, you think it's like it barely moves. You're fucking like 10% is nothing, right? For a small cap trader. $2 to $2.20 is nothing. And so that's all you can take. So basically there's no meat. There's no meat for longs. There's no meat for shorts. And when the stock moves, everyone's jumping on it. It's like everyone's thirsty for that one hot chick that comes into, not even a hot chick, any the girl that comes to the party. so I compare this. This is kind of funny, but a bear market is like a sausage fest. When you go to the parties, it's all dudes. There's no chick. There's no sympathy chicks. There's no girls at all. It's just all dudes. That is the bear market. So every guy is staying at the door, waiting for any females to walk in, any females breathing. And so the guys that are at the door, the thirstiest guys at the door, jump at the chick, and that's the FOMO guys, right, guys? You don't want to be the FOMO guy. The last guy is not going to get the chick either. It's too late. So you have to find a balance. So scaling is like being a persistent guy. Right? You kind of nibble each time you see her, and then eventually she like gets to know you, right? Because she's seen you like 10 times. So the more you're able to scale, the better opportunity you get to get the girl. If you can only scale one time, you have one opportunity to get the date with a girl, and it's very difficult, right? You have to be perfect. But you have 10 opportunities to ask, that's scaling. So my stop is, so there's a couple stops. Your ultimate stop should be your max daily loss, dude. Max pain, max loss is your stop. Not the fucking price, not the time. Your ultimate stop is your max price, max loss you're willing to take. Stick to that max loss, okay? So the number one thing is your max loss. So when you come to a trade, you're like, how much am I willing to lose from this? Because you have to have, like, if you enter a trade, you have to have conviction, dude. Otherwise, conviction means this. You have to be sure that your shit is going to work. And not get spoofed out by up and down, whatever. And so I kind of figured that the way you do it is the max loss. So you allocate, that you give yourself that much room for your plan to work. This is very simple. Of course, this is oversimplification. You do not need to email me and text me and say, well, what if when you lose? Well, what if I make more than this a day? So my whole point is, as long as it averages out to this is what you're looking at. If you average $200 a day in profit, average, some days you're up 500, some days you're down $100. If you average this, just 200, that's less than my locate fees. My locate fees like over $1,000 a day. So if you average just this, you have 50 grand a year, guys. For most Americans, for most people in the world, 50,000 is a dream. Extra income, no stress, $200 a day. This is more than I made when I graduated as an engineer, guys. I made 38 grand, I think, 36 or 38 grand, something like that when I graduated as an engineer. If someone had just told me at that time, shit, man, just go day trading, make $200 a day, make $50, dude. Who cannot make $200 a day? Seriously, guys. One scalp, 1,000 shares. Seriously, guys, who cannot make $200 a day? I'm not joking, guys. Seriously, I don't care what account you have, $5,000 account, you can make $200 a day. The reason you can't make it is you're not disciplined. You're looking for $1,000 a day. That was me, man. You can make $200 a day all the time long. You don't take the gains. You're like, well, I'm supposed to hold it right till the bottom. Let your winners run. Fuck, if you let your winners run on DTA, you're fucking dead. When you have a small account, guys, you have to play very defensive. If you have a bigger account, you can take more risk. If you have a small account, you do what it takes to build that account. Take your gains. Scale out the gains. Better to keep crying about lost potential than to cry about the fact that you were up so much at 320, did not take it. Now it's at 420. My whole point is this, guys. When you guys have a lot of money in your account, you can do anything you want. You're more experienced. You don't need to listen to me. That was stupid. I was leaving a lot of money on the table. You are absolutely right, guys. If you're a top trader, you're making millions a year. My style is horrible. I leave too much money on the table. But at the same time, I'm fucking stress-free. There's a famous quote I keep saying. You only need to get rich once. You only need to get rich once. When you make it, don't fucking give it back. Why risk everything? If you're a small account, guys, your small account, your goal is to build that account, to preserve that account. It sucks playing it the right way loses your entire account. It's better playing the wrong way and making money. Make sense, guys? With a small account, you cannot afford to lose all your money. One mistake will cripple you. You don't have a fudge factor. I have a fudge factor. A guy with a $5,000 account does not have a fudge factor. If you can afford to lose everything, go for it, man. Go for it. Who's stopping you? You can make more money. But if you're an older person, but in my opinion, man, building the bankroll is the most important thing. Because you know what? I'd rather make money every day, guys, and leave money on the table, but then I'm going to build my bankroll up. When my bankroll is ready to take the risk, I will take the risk. But at the same time, it's like you build these good habits. And so let's assume this. Let's just say you never improve and you never hold on to the winner. You never have these huge winners, but you're making money every day. What is the wrong thing about that formula? You may not have your maximum potential, but dude, I just taught you to make money every freaking day. If the worst case is you're making money every day, but it's less money, that's a pretty good problem to have. Let me repeat that. If the worst thing that your strategy can do is to make less money, but still making money each day, that's a pretty good thing. So I teach the younger guys to play defensive. I have these rules. See, the 10-30 rule killed everybody. 10-30 rule killed everybody. 10-30 rule killed everybody. So I mean, it's like, you know what? I do this for a reason. It's a rule. It's a guide. It's not a fact. It's not physics. So it's like, but my whole point at this stage in the game, guys, is building your bankroll, right, guys? When you have a small account, build your bankroll and just make. So I give an analogy like this, dude. Trading is like going to a casino, playing blackjack, getting dealt 2 cards in blackjack, but never having to bet until you want to bet. So why are you entering trades when it's 17 or 18 or even 19 on blackjack? Wait until the 20s to bet. So where are the 20s? I teach this in the room, right, guys? I give the lines. I give the lines, and then we do the outside lines. So each time you go on the outside, it's a 20 hand. So you go from the 17, which is the inner line, 18 to middle line, 19, middle line, 20, the outer lines. Does that make sense, guys? So you choose the outer lines, you're completely cool. The reason I like DXR and why this was my top pick today is because of this. Yesterday, the chart was established. When I woke up today, it was $1 lower than it closed. So it closed at 880, and the sucker was like at 7 something. So I'm like, actually here, I'm so sorry. Here. So it hit a low of like 725, man. It closed 880. So it's down over $1. So I'm like, holy shit, people are stuck. It closed at 880. It closed damn strong, man. The people that bought this as a gapper yesterday woke up to a fucking nightmare. They're down $1. So put yourself in the position of a guy who's bag holding, and everyone's bag holding now. It gapped down so low, guys, where every single long is underwater. Take a look where it gapped, $7.25, right? So basically every long is a bag holder. So if I was stuck like them, I'm just waiting for it to bounce so that I can get the hell out. And that's the bag holder mentality, which is a smart way. I'm going to add, and then try to get out when it pops up. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. And the beauty about this is, guys, because this sucker is down so much now, it's going to take a long ass time to get back to where it was. So I took a chance. Not only that, because of this also gave me a lot of conviction. I hate that word, conviction. I'm never overly convicted, guys. I'm always ready to bail when my thesis is incorrect. So don't mistake conviction for a life sentence, okay? So a lot of people think having conviction means holding that shit till you're dead. No. Having conviction means, dude, I don't give a fuck if you have conviction or not. You need to have a risk management plan because nothing is 100% in this trading, okay? And so I don't care. And those are the guys. So conviction makes big gains or big losses, and I don't like that. So I never use the word conviction. I don't have conviction in anything. I keep telling you guys, I don't know. That's what keeps me safe, guys. I have a thesis, and the sooner I realize a stock is not behaving to what I'm thinking, I'm gonna get the fuck out. So if this stock had broke to new highs like over 9, I would have gotten the fuck out. I would not be overly convicted to this. I'm not convicted to anything in life, okay, except to eat and shit and sleep, right? But then I have to do that. So how I knew that this was a good play for me. First of all, the chart has been established. So I already know the range that. So basically, the risk is defined for me already, guys. So the hardest part about shorting a stock is this: you don't know what the top is. So once the top has been set, it's very easy to know your risk. I'm just going to risk till the high day break. So I already did math in my head where I'm going to scale in certain areas, And so when it breaks, it's cool. My risk is defined. So it's not scary anymore. You know what's scary? Scary is having no risk parameter in place. And that's chasing on the front side of a stock short. You see that? So it's scary because you don't know where the top is. Is it 9? Is it 20? Is it 100? You don't know. And so that's what makes it scary. But I already know what my risk top is, $9. So I start scaling in at certain areas. I'm like, I already did the math in my head, bro. Dude, it's not scary. I already predefined what I'm going to lose. I do not want to take a stop loss at 950, but if it hits there, I will. So I'm in my head, I already made that risk parameter. So I'm not scared anymore. So this is how you get over the fear of FOMO. I mean, not FOMO, the fear of getting into a trade. Don't be afraid if you have a risk parameter set. You already predefined what you're going to lose. If you already know what you're going to lose, how can you be scared, dude? You know what I'm saying? And so you're scared means you're trading too big. And so let me so DXR. So I like to use this BAM SCC, but notice what I see. I see a pretty recent effective on 820. And let me show you what I look at. I'm not a filings expert, guys. This is just a quick, analysis. I'm an intraday trader. I'm not going to hold this thing for a week and be convicted with 100,000 shares. That's just not my style. I just don't trade like that. I mean, I could. It's just for me at this point. I don't do that. So here I see August, which is only like half a year ago. Actually, 3 months ago. I'm sorry. So if I click on this, I see the form N2. I think this is so I don't know what these things are. It doesn't matter what it is. I see an N2 here. So let's figure out how many shares they're going to dilute. $28 million worth, dude. You have time. You can read this, figure out what's going on. But I just do a quick pass. So they got $28 million worth of stuff to sell. That's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of shares. So that coupled with the fact that, more importantly, this is a day 2. I call this a low-hanging fruit because, dude, it's dead. Fucking people are bagged underwater. The only thing that's scary about it is SSR. So SSR got triggered. But, I mean, if that's the only thing, it's like, fuck, dude. But the thing is, remember this. SSR is only scary because you cannot short sell on the downtick, on the bid, right? But there's so many fucking guys bagging this thing. They're all longs, guys. So the longs is going to kill DXR. It's not the shorts that are killing this. It's the longs that are killing this. So SSR doesn't really play into this. I keep it in back of my mind. But you see what I'm saying? It's like the longs are so underwater. So fucking underwater, guys. The scary part about SSR is this. Once the longs have been eliminated, meaning the bag holders, who's left to sell? It's just the short sellers. And short sellers cannot sell in bids. That's why SSR is scary as hell. When there's no more bag holders, you better get the fuck out. Okay, so this is my thinking, guys. I mean, people can laugh at me, but I'm just trying to think as how this shit works. Okay, so DXR gap down, everybody's underwater. Every long is underwater. So they're gonna look to sell. So it doesn't matter now. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the sales are coming from. Not necessarily the shorts, guys. It's the fucking longs. The longs are a bag. So SSR, and so I put my risk at, so I scaled in. So let me show you what I did. Was there a filing today on DXR2? I'm kind of sick, guys. So I'm not like 100%. Let's take a look at this. DXR. Well, it should be under the filing if there's some sort of filing. So looking for October right here. Every time I look at this POS, I'll think of a piece of shit. POS, piece of shit. Let's see what the hell it says. I don't know what time it came out, but I mean, there's more filing stuff of them selling shares and stuff, I guess. I'm not an expert once again. I mean, but the fact is, dude, everyone's underwater. It's thumping. So let me show you what I did as a trader. And this is why I love being a trader and not necessarily an investor, because I don't have to fucking know every fucking bit of detail. I just need to fucking understand the moves and capture the fucking meat of the move. So there is my DXR. So dude, I'm like, so let's take a look at this. So I'm using this as a guide. Remember in the morning I said 820? I got a little FOMO. I did a fat finger here at 780. So I just wanted an early entry. So I saw a little resistance line here at 780. So that's why I entered my first order here. And I started adding more to the 820 line. So that's it. So I just kept adding, dude. I had a certain amount of shares I wanted at each level. And so I added to that. So I had a plan set. And then when it came down, I took some off. And then I'm like, holy shit, it fucking just unraveled so fast. And I was kind of pissed because I wanted more shares at the next level. So these are just my starters at this first area. So I wanted 820 and then 850. So I'm hardly ever like all in. I should be slamming more here, but it was fucking once again SSR, so I couldn't. But I made money. I could have made more. You can always make more. So my plan was fucking dead on. It's just it didn't give me an opportunity to add any more at the open. But what can you do, right? What can the fuck you do, dude? So that was my plan. My plan was to scale around this area, and I did. I took as many shares as I can at that area, and then I just unraveled it when it came down. That's it. It was fucking too easy. It was just too easy. But I didn't size up because but that was just my starter positions, in the beginning. So I wanted 820, I wanted 850, I wanted $9. $9 came, and if it broke, I'd just stop out around 950. So I always use the previous day's high of day to stop out. So let's take a look at that. So how do you figure that out? So yesterday, what's the high of day? And I use pre-market too, by the way. So yesterday was 929 around there, 939. You know what I'm saying? So I just look around this area, 9 something. I eyeball it, man. Because by the time that it goes there, I'm like, fuck it, that's my old shit. Get the hell out. And so the point is, if it broke 9 with conviction, remember, I'm scaling in, guys. I'm already doing risk analysis in my head. I already know how much I'm going to lose, how many shares I'm going to be in. So it's not going to cripple me. You know what I'm saying? I already have my fucking set areas of entry. And, I took a little, let's take a look at that again. That's what I did. 780, I scaled. And then I did the 810 line. So I was scaling up to the 820. I wanted a decent sized position in this, actually. And I only got a third of what I wanted. So I had a third of what I wanted. But it dropped like $1. So, I did okay. I should have. If it had popped up, I wanted a quick pop followed by a tank. It didn't do that. It just tanked right away. Some guy was walking it up pre-market, and I was adding around here too. So I was hoping that the guy walked it up so that when it opened, it would spike up to the 859 and then go straight down. So that was what I was wanting. So I had orders out. It never hit. And sometimes that's life, man. It's like, fuck, no stress. Took the money. To me, this is a low-hanging fruit. Why? Once again, let's review. Yesterday's chart was set. It gapped down $1. People are upside down. Every long is upside down. So you have to be very careful, though. This is where you can go bankrupt, where it gaps down that much and then it starts to move back up and it breaks the previous day's high of day. So you have to be very, very careful and very disciplined to stop out. Okay? And the stop out is, if it breaks yesterday's fucking high, get the fuck out, guys. That's what it is, man. It's like, sometimes you want it to go up so you can add, but be careful what you ask. If it goes up too much, dude, it's just too strong of a monster.
So, whenever SSR, which is the short sell restriction, which if you don't know what it means, Google it. But the long story short is, if the stock goes down more than 10% in one day, you could only short on the ask, you cannot short on the bid. That's the way it works. The SSR. Stupidest rule on the planet, but that's what ends up happening. So anytime SSR is triggered, the stock is highly, highly, highly likely to be more manipulated, especially if it's a low float stock, right? So let me say that again. If SSR is turned on a low float stock, it is much easier to be manipulated. So here are the fucking warning signs for ANY. SSR is on. It is a low float stock. It went from red to green. Those three signals, those three powerful signals, are the signals that you should not be fucking shorting that shit. No matter what, you don't short that shit today, no matter what. Low float, SSR, red to green. Very, very bullish pattern. You don't fucking touch that shit.
To figure out SSR, you type in the closing price, 902, and you take 90% of that times 90%. So if it hit 811, it would trigger SSR. What SSR is, you cannot short sell on the bid, meaning you cannot short sell on the downtick, which makes it very difficult. Because why? They can just put up 100 shares, and as a short seller, you can't break it. And what happens is you can only short on the downtick, meaning like when the stock is down, you can only short it. So why would you want to short the stock when it's going down? You know what I'm saying? So you're fighting. So basically, what it does is it gets you. It basically makes it very. At the end of the day, you only need to know one thing. It makes it very difficult to short because short sellers cannot smack the bid. So you have to be cognizant of that. I'm always worried about SSR moves off a huge thing because that will determine everything. Everything is the SSR because that's when they trap. They move things down, pre-market, all that. So I'll tell you how to calculate SSR. SSR is based upon 10%. So all I do is I take the closing price. So the closing price was 119. So they gamed it after hours, dude. They tanked this shit down. Because what happens is it's 119.76 times 90%. It's because SSR is a 10% trigger. So in order to trigger SSR and TLRY, it needs to go underneath this price. It did, dude. It went down to like hella low. It trapped a shitload of people. And what did it do? Fucking once it started moving up, everyone got trapped and started fucking covering. And this is what happened. And I gave you guys these lines pre-market, man. I gave you guys these lines pre-market. And so, I mean, I don't like to chase because I'm like, dude, this. So I know that once SSR hits, this is what I think. Once SSR hits, I wouldn't say always because there's never always. Most of the time, there's a big bounce. And the big bounce is, so you can think of it as like, so that's the first bounce on the short side that I like to trade on. Because that's the easier way, because it's the most predictable bounce. Off of a huge move, it will bounce up because of SSR, because they're gaming this all the way, right? So this is day 3. That's the only reason I'll nibble this shit, because it's day 3. I'm like, this fucker's on the day 3, man. How much more can it fucking go up? If this was day 1, I wouldn't do this shit. But I gave myself, if it broke under 430, it's a fucking downside. So when it went under 430, guys, you see this? I slammed the bid right here. When I slammed the bid, I'm like, yes, this sucker's gonna go down to 380. Where did I get the 380? Because look at this, dude. If it breaks 410 here, it's gonna go drop 380. And I'm thinking, dude, so the first stop is a 409, but it didn't even go there, dude. It went to fucking like 420 and fucking stayed there. I'm like, something's fucking wrong, dude. This stock is fucked up. It should have fucking went to at least 4.9, 4.8 right here. When this sucker breaks this, it should go to the next line. If it doesn't go to the next line, someone is putting in a fucking massive buy order to manipulate the chart or to do some shit, to hold up that stock for some reason. So I got kind of scared. I covered some. I held some. I told Alex, I'm going to fucking hold some from the bottom. But Alex kept telling me, get out, get out. So I got out half, and I held half for the lower here, see? So I did it right. The reason I did this is because it's a day 3 move. If this was day 1, I'd be more scared. I might cover the whole thing. But as a day 3, I'm like, dude, I locked in my profits, took half off. I'm going to fucking take a chance. And so it's all about probability, right? So it's a day 3. The probability is in my favor that gravity is going to be very strong on a day 3. It's fucking red on the day now. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is still fucking manipulated. It's like, dude, these guys did not let it drop. Even now, dude, look at this. It's only 15 cents off of the fucking closing price on a day 3. Usually this thing craters down to at least 380, maybe even go to 340. Something is not right with this stock. To me, I call it doesn't trade natural. It's always being fucking propped up by big bids. When they pull the rug, it should fucking just fall off the fucking thing right down, but it doesn't. It's a stair step, very controlled, very methodical move. Only fucking 15 cents red, guys, on day 3. So that made me very suspicious. That's why I started to take it off more and more, and then I was right. Remember I told you I'm done. So right here, I took my last bits off at the 404 area, 403 area, and I'm done. And when it dropped down on this, I took another chance. I took some shorts just to see if it could go down to 380s. It didn't, so I covered. 550s up top, okay? And then you fucking start sizing it. They control the fucking stock. You see them fucking manipulate it. It's a very manipulative stock chart. Let me show you what I mean by manipulation, okay? Hold on, I'm still trying to sell some of this IGs. Okay, so notice it's a stair step all the way up. Every dip was supported. So some motherfucker has an algo or some guy is buying the shit on every dip. This is a forced fucking thing. Okay? The same way it was forced going down. Take a look at this. If you zoom in on yesterday's chart on MBEV, you will see that it's a stair step down. It's a forced shit. It's not natural. No fucking trades naturally like that. Someone is purposely supporting it and manipulating it and doing shit with it, right, guys? Long or short, have to have meat on the bone. So if you were short at 80 cents, how much can you possibly make? It already went out so much, so there's not much meat left, you know. And then there's a weird news that no one understands about $2.22 buyout, right? So the fact that I saw this, today I woke up, I figured out what's going on. I read the news. I'm like, there's something sketchy going on. And so I saw some sort of resistance selling here. And so, you know what I did? Let me show you what I did. I just took a chance, started nibbling, and every time it hit around the $2 150 line, you see what I'm saying? I'm just shorting, kept adding and shorting, kept adding, and then I'm hoping if I was right, and this thing will tank down to this line, which is 118, 117. They never did that though. Hit 123, bastards. Which I covered up here, and then so let me tell you my thinking for this trade. Okay, this is kind of like an interesting situation. This is rare in the terms of the buyout. So if it's a real buyout, it would be flat. There would be no big 50% moves up and down. The fact that there is, something is going on. And so I just took a chance. I gave myself actually a 150 stop, 153 stop. If it broke 153, I would be out. So the risk reward was there. Some sketchiness going on. If I was right, I thought it'd be quicker fall. It didn't fall. So 135 was supported all morning. And so I took another trade. So I covered up all this. And so when 135 broke, I just started slamming it down. And I was hoping 118 under 120 will come. If it was natural, it would just fucking free fall. But someone keep buying that crap up, dude. You always see shit like this. 20,000 shares popping up all over the place. This is not natural. You know, there's some sort of manipulation going on. There might be other people that won't believe in manipulation shit, but dude, no one fucking puts 20,000 shares up. There's someone in there that's manipulating this shit. Okay. And sure enough, you know, it's like it fucking bounced back up. It's just not a natural, but if you drew a line here, so this was actually a pivot here that was formed. So it did bounce off the pivot, but I was hoping 120 will break. It didn't, but you know, to be safe, you know what I did? I took a lot of it here. You notice that? So I play it safe. So I take some off at the, so each resistance, I mean, each support area, if I was shorting, I would take some off at each support. Okay, I'll scale some out. That's how I do. I'm a little more safe, you know. This is as simple as it can be, man. Just breaks under support. I short it, and I cover the next support. Went back up, I add some more back. So now I'm sitting around with this. So I'm currently down on this. I only have a little bit here anyway, so not that much. But it's coming down now. See, someone put up 150,000 shares again. So say it's not manipulated. I mean, dude, it's like that's totally manipulation, right? So dilution is if they have an effective, they're selling paper or they're raising funds or doing an offering. So anything that the company is selling shares. That's what I do mean by dilution. It could be warrants, it could be all that. So this is a whole new area of like, this is like, dude, you can spend like a PhD on this stuff. And so I learned enough just so I can guide my own trading. So I focus on trading. I should know more about these filings, but I mean, this is where I can hire someone or have a great room like you guys. I didn't do much, man. Today I took it easy because my first. So this is like very typical. So this, you can use this as an example of like, you know, you haven't traded for a while, you had to go work or something like me. I come back, don't know what's going on. So instead of hitting the day one stuff, I'm content to hitting like the day two stuff. So look at Jivo. Jivo, I waited. I didn't hit pre-market. I waited. It went down. Then when the line started forming, see, so the chart formed itself. So 495 line was the line. So that's why I started shorting. I just waited for it to come back up. In pre-market, it was down all the way to 470. I just waited for it to come up. And I was content on taking a scalp when it went down to 450s and 460. And that's all I did. Took a 30-cent scalp. The reason why I like this, I wanted it more. So, I mean, this was just my starter, guys. I wanted Sucker to be higher up here. If it went up here, I would add more size. And the reason why I liked it so much is because of this. So this is one thing I want to show you guys today on that Jivo stock. If you type in Jivo, you can see this. Remember, I'm looking for effective. So basically, if you click on it, so now they can't start selling. So this is my theory. This is my thesis for my trade. This is my edge. So I'm looking for an edge, right? So this was my edge, right or wrong. This is what I think my thesis for my trade is. And this is the reason why I wanted to enter this trade with some decent size if the stock came to me. I'm not willing to chase 50 cents lower, you know, if it came up, because my theory is they're going to sell. So effective. This is pretty damn recent, dude. Now let's take a look at the S3. So this is how you go back and you look at the S3. Remember, I'm not an expert on this, so people can laugh at me all on, but I'm doing very simplistic due diligence on this because I only have a few moments. You know, I'm not an expert on this, but I know enough
I know that they're diluting. There's a shelf registration here in S3. The difference between an S3 and S8, this is for employees, like a stock purchase plan. So these are pretty much like restricted stuff. If you're an employee, you can't just sell right away, right? There's some that's restricted, there's some you can sell, but the S3 is the shelf registration. You can Google more of this, but what I'm looking for is a recent dilution effective, some sort of financing. They need to raise money. So it's huge, dude. It's $300 million. I don't think they can sell that much in that time period. So, so I'm thinking, dude, so my thesis, they're selling. I would be fucking selling if I were them. Let's take a look at the Jivo chart. So I remember I said I use certain charts, it's free. I'm still sick, guys, so my voice is a little messed up. I'm a little under the weather, so bear with me. So I was kind of scared of this. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, dude, this thing ran a lot, right? But this is all before the dilution stuff. So I keep drilling in until I see the, and I'm like, dude, I can't really chart it. So a lot of times, like, dude, I can't really chart it. It's just all over the place. It's very hard to chart. So what I did was this. I actually look at the pre-market stuff. So I based off, so the way I traded Jivo was straight up off of the pre-market. Pre-market was 550. So I used that line. And then when it broke down under 520 became the line. Then when it broke down under $5, $5 became the line. Now it hit 470, it bounced back up, and notice what happened. The 496 became the line. And that's where I shorted, guys. So I'm moving from line to line. And these are pivot points, but within the pivot points, there's basic support and resistance lines. And all I did was just use the basic support and resistance. So when it went back up to that $5 line, I started scaling. That's all I did. When it went down, I added more. Then I covered on the bottom of the line. The bottom line was actually around 440. You take a look. The low is 430 on the pivot line, but sometimes it never makes it there, right? So take a look at the low, 440, 444. So if you scale around that 440 line, you're good. Which I couldn't wait that long. I made it to 458 or something like this. That was my lowest. But I was rusty. Didn't come back. I came back I'm sick. Whatever the reason may be, dude, I just, I took the easy money. Next time I may hold longer. Just the situation is just, I'm looking at this. It's like, dude, it came all the way down from 550 to this. So I was afraid that when it went back up, I'm going to have another chance at 496. That's the reason why I took more off, because I was going to add more, but it never came back up. So I left it, Any questions on that? So the key for that trade was seeing that there was a $300 million shelf that they can start selling. So that was my little edge. I don't get how he bottom top 6. It's nothing. It's just based upon the lines. I have the discipline to wait for the lines.
How I use level 2, how I use VWAP, how I use all that stuff, okay? I always start with first the lines, the areas of interest, the lines. And then when it reaches that line, then I start looking at these prints. On the way down, there's no magic, guys. So you think there's some magic thing, there's not, okay? But when it starts a parabolic all the way up or all the way down, I look at the speed, the acceleration at which the things are printing. And that's usually the volume, right? The liquidity is flowing through. So it's like boom, 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 and all of a sudden you see it slow down. Just like a car, guys. In order for you to reverse, like to turn around, like make a U-turn. Think about the car. So you're speeding as fucking fast as you can. How do you make a U-turn? You have to fucking slow down. It's physics. You go from fucking 60 miles an hour to fucking nothing to turn around. And that's my theory on this level 2 shit. And so that's how I'm able to nail a lot of these parabolic moves, because I'm looking at the speed, the acceleration that it's printing. If it's slowing down, like, dude, the bottom might be near. The bottom might be near. But it's all based around the lines. So like if it's just slowing down the middle, I was like, this is like weird. Why would it slow down the middle? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just slowing down so it can speed up. So you have to use it in conjunction with the lines, guys. You can't just look at one thing by itself. You can't just look at level 2 and make your trade out of level 2. It doesn't work like that. Same thing for VWAP, man. I have not even looked at the fucking VWAP for any of these stocks. If I was swinging, I could look now. Let's take a look at MBEV. VWAP 420. Oh fuck! It just so happens my fucking line is 420. 430. So I'm saying, so VWAP is kind of like, it will be reflected, in my opinion, on the line. So it takes care of itself. So if I want to take a quick look, I don't really trade off this VWAP. I use it as a confirmation off of my lines. I'm like, hey, it's right, man. People are underwater right now. It's 420. But I also know that by the lines. I don't need to look at VWAP. If you just trade off the VWAP, you're stupid. If you trade just off the lines, you're stupid too. You have to use everything. You have to use your fundamentals, your filings, all this stuff. Paint the picture. So using just technical analysis is stupid by itself. You'll make money, but you need everything, right? Why wouldn't you try to use as much information as you can? It came for fucking 320. I'm watching. I'm not just blindly adding, guys. I'm watching the acceleration of the movement. This is called tape reading. Remember I told you about the acceleration? So I'm seeing this shit slow down. The moment it slows down, I know it's reaching the peak. That's a secret here, guys. That's how I know these things are topping. When the thing is going ballistic and going fast as fuck, I'm not fucking entering my orders, guys. Avoid that shit. It's like a car. A fucking car is going 200 miles an hour. You get the fuck out of the car. It has to take time to stop. But when I see the car slowing down, then I can fucking make my move. Because in the beginning, it's shooting like a lightning bolt. Boom, boom. But eventually, it's gonna slow down, and then gravity ticks. It's like throwing the ball up in the air, guys. Throw the fucking ball up in the air. And in the beginning, the ball's going fast. But the higher it goes, the slower the ball moves. And it'll reach the top and start falling down. And it's going to fall down with the same acceleration, which is the same acceleration that did the reverse coming up. So at the top of the peak, at the top, it slows down. Almost seems like it stops there for a minute. And then, boom, the speed comes back down. And you do the reverse, and that's how you figure out the bottom. That's how I'm very good at these bounces, because I read the speed at which the prints are coming, the rate. Nico has a good in the boot camp. He shows you how he does it. So I look at these 100 prints and shit too, but he said he takes them out. I leave them in because I like to see the speed, the true speed at which the level 2 is moving. So that is my trick, guys, to figure out tops and bottoms. Let's see. Let's do some tape reading. So it seems like when it hits 250, someone's refreshing the cells. And so let me see. You see that? A bunch of volume came, but then there's a hidden seller. So that's why we need by tape reading. We're trying to figure out which one's the hidden seller or not. So they could put like 100,000 shares, but show like 1,000 shares. So these furus are fucking looking at share size, and they're dumb as shit, dude. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. I can manipulate this shit. You see any big shares except this guy? This guy's big there. That guy's showing big size for a reason. If you're a true seller, it's like, there's a lot of these games going on. You don't know what's going on, but you base upon the data that you see, prints, and come on. I'm sure I'm going to cover this shit around the 230 line and then the 220 line. The rest. I'm just moving from line to line and just making my scalps until tomorrow when it's more confirmed as the backside, and then I can accumulate and go larger size. But right now is the first side of the trade, dude. There's if it's on the outside of the lines, I do a short. If it's on the bottom of the lines, I do a long. So I can trade this both sides. So if you want a long, maybe a 220 line. If you want a short, a 250 line. But either way, it's scary as hell. I just that's why you got to do on the extreme lines. There we go, guys. There we go. I took some off. 231, 247 to 231. Not bad. I'm still holding a third position. I gave you guys another strategy today. How do you trade off of a parabolic? Okay, off of a parabolic, this is what you do, guys. If you're long a stock and it's parabolic and you're fucking doing great, wait till it hits the top, and then you see where the top is, and then put some sell orders there because it's going to retest that a little bit. Look at that. See, $1 line. Dude, you could see. I told you the $1 line. This is the history repeats itself. It's not dead yet, dude. It's gonna if it's got a chance of dying. Usually, I see that it's around 2 o'clock, 2:30. I call it the trend reversal observation. Okay, and that's just my own thing, dude. I'm not a data scientist. This is just observation that I've been seeing. Does it make sense? So if you're long a position, so this is how you can trade a long. If you happen to be long on HERX, fucking let it go and see if it didn't double top here. See, it double topped here. I would have been probably out at 110, be happy as hell. To be honest, why the fuck are you gonna stay around to make another 4 cents, 3 cents? You're not gonna be able to sell 114. You might be selling 113 at the most. So take the meat of the fucking move. If you're long, take the meat of the fucking move and get out around 110. It double topped and then it broke up. You see that? And so that's why, so the whole thing is you take the meat. You don't know where the top is. You know how you can find at the top? You let it hit the top. Let me repeat that. How do I know what the top is? I let it hit the top. And then once it hit the top, I can go in and then place my orders. Same thing with a long or a buy. Make sense? When it hit the top, now I can start putting in my sell orders. And a sale is a sell, guys. It doesn't matter if it's a short or long sell, right? Short sell or off a long. So that's how I do it, dude. It's no brainer. I let it hit the top. How do I know what the top is? I don't. I let it hit the top by itself. And then I go back to the secondary move. This is a very powerful concept, guys. And this is how I fucking top tick shit. I don't necessarily, there's 2 ways to top tick. Okay. The first way is I put it. I remember last week I talked about wish list. I have a bunch of wish lists. If it fucking hit open, boom, I'm good. Like wish list of MBEV at the open was around the 650 line. It didn't hit. It dropped down. It's zombie is here. So I had a bunch of wish lists. So when it hits me on the wish list, usually I'm in very small because it's the extreme line and hit me. But the money maker is the double rejection, the triple rejection area. So I let the parabolic go, and then when the parabolic hits the top, that's when I put in my orders in around that area. And so that's the secret to shorting, guys.